Live from the Ball State News Center, this is NewsLink Indiana in high definition.
Good evening and welcome to NewsLink Indiana. I'm Esther Bauer.
And I'm Cameron DeBlasio. Thanks for joining us. Indiana's senatorial election appears to be going through a shift. Larry Sabato, a well-respected political scientist, released his new ratings on all the Senate races in the United States. Indiana switched from leaning Democrat to being categorized as a toss-up after Republican Todd Young cut his deficit to Evan Bayh from 20 points to just 4. Young and Bayh, along with both gubernatorial candidates, gave Muncie a front-row seat to the election Saturday night. All 4 were in Muncie at different events addressing their supporters. NewsLink Indiana's Tony Sandlaben has the story.
John Gregg, Eric Holcomb, Todd Young, and Evan Bayh all made a stop in Muncie Saturday night. The Democratic candidates spoke at the Jefferson Jackson Day dinner banquet at Cornerstone Center for the Arts, with Gregg focusing his message primarily on education.
We need to have teachers be part of the solution. We want to end that war on public education. I'm opposed to that teaching to the test, and they're changing the name of ISTEP, but it's not gone.
Evan Bayh, the Democratic senatorial candidate, took on his opponent, calling him out for dealings with Carrier Corporation, a company that recently shipped 1,400 jobs out of Indiana.
The week after the Carrier Corporation announced that they were shipping those jobs overseas, he took more campaign contributions from Carrier. Well, that's not right. That's the fundamental difference between who we are and our values and what they stand for in this election.
Saturday's political atmosphere wasn't just limited to Democrats. Republican nominees were also here addressing their supporters in Muncie, behind me at the Delaware County Lincoln Day dinner. Lieutenant Governor Eric Holcomb was sure to point out the importance of this election.
This election in the next 51 days is going to determine in large part probably the next 5+ years of the state, what direction we will go in. I don't want to go back to those days of debt and dysfunction, and that's the contrast, and that's the choice voters will make.
Congressman Todd Young, the GOP senatorial candidate, summed up what he wanted Muncie voters to know about his plans for the future.
We'll continue to carry our message of common sense conservative leadership, ensuring that every Hoosier has access to a quality education, good paying job that leads to a meaningful career in places like Muncie, Indiana, from now until Election Day and beyond.
Both dinners also featured speeches from candidates for Attorney General. In the state superintendent race, Glenda Ritz spoke to Delaware County Democrats. GOP nominee and Muncie resident Jennifer McCormick canceled her scheduled appearance at the last minute, but was endorsed by Speaker at Saturday evening's dinner. In Muncie, Tony Sandlaben, NewsLink Indiana.
Election Day is now less than 2 months away, with early voting starting on October 12th.
Some Indiana Republicans are concerned their party's political email list is being used for a co-worker's personal gain. Indiana Republican Party Chairman Jeff Cardwell has been sending several emails advertising his personal business and nonprofit organization. One email even asked for donations before the Republican National Convention happened. However, the donations were for the Cardwell Home Center and not for the party's gain.
Heroin overdoses this past weekend have officials worried. Delaware County's emergency management director confirmed that new heroin is here. The county's ambulance service responded to 7 to 10 heroin overdose calls each day from Friday through Sunday. The week before, it was typical for EMS to respond to only 1 or 2. Since the chemical fentanyl is now included in the drug, heroin is reportedly much stronger. Heroin use and overdoses have been an increasing problem locally in Indiana and around the Midwest. Officials say they hope to win drug-fighting funding from a new public safety income tax to try and fix this issue.
A 28-year-old man is now in custody after authorities named him this morning as a suspect in Saturday's bombings in New York City and Seaside Park, New Jersey. CNN's Karen Kafa has the latest.
We have every reason to believe this was an act of terror.
On Monday morning, the NYPD and FBI released a photo of Ahmed Khan Rahami and asked the public for help in finding him. In a matter of hours, he was in custody after a shootout with police.
Now that we have this suspect in custody, the investigation can focus on other aspects, such as whether this individual acted alone and what his motivations may have been.
The 28-year-old suspect believed to be seen on surveillance cameras near the Chelsea bombing site Saturday night, rolling a duffel bag. He is a naturalized U.S. citizen from Afghanistan. Saturday's explosion left 29 people injured. All have been released from the hospital. Authorities say a backpack of explosives was found at Rahami's last known address in Elizabeth, New Jersey. Sought in connection with 3 bombings, he was added to terror watch lists to help stop him from leaving the country. Police tracked him down in Linden, New Jersey, near Elizabeth.
We have directly linked Rahami to devices from New York and from Saturday in New Jersey.
The manhunt an extra wrinkle during a week that already demands greater security here. The United Nations General Assembly has brought a number of world leaders and foreign dignitaries to town, including President Obama.
We all have a role to play as citizens in making sure that we don't succumb to that fear. And there's no better example of that than the people of New York and New Jersey.
Authorities say at this time there is no indication that a terror cell is operating in the New York area.
Again, that was CNN's Kara Kafa reporting. Well, Cameron, I would say we got pretty cheated this weekend. Today was such a beautiful day. What happened on Saturday?
Yeah, you know, I almost wish I could take today's weather and exchange it for what we had on Saturday.
Most definitely.
Yeah, absolutely. Cody, what do you think we're going to be having going forward?
Yeah, guys, going forward, I think we're going to have a high pressure system in place, which is going to lead to sunny conditions and warmer weather, primarily through much of this week. Looking at today's almanac, today we reached a high of 86 degrees. Our average high for this time of year is 75, though, so we are well above average for this time of year. And our record high was 91, set back in 1983, and we are only 5 degrees away from breaking that record today. Now, coming up in my forecast, I will be talking about sunny and warm conditions coming up ahead. I will also talk about when our next rain chance will impact central Indiana, as well as when those fall-like temperatures will finally return.
All right, thank you very much, Cody. Coming up, the festival that had everyone chirping this weekend when we come back.
And learn how you can make your carbon footprint a size smaller to benefit your community. Stay tuned.
Doesn't see race. Love is love.
So I've come up with a family emergency plan.
Great. What is it?
It's difficult to talk about, so I'm not telling you.
How will we know what to do?
You won't.
I'm so glad I won't have to remember anything.
And me too. Thanks for this, sweetie.
Talk to your kids about who to call, where to meet, what to pack. Visit ready.gov/kids for tips and information.
So, I just moved in with this family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that! That's disgusting! Oh, poop already! You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this, for his sake.
Welcome back to NewsLink Indiana. Last Friday night marked the semi-annual Chirp Fest in the village of Ball State University. The EDM performance was held Saturday night and featured DJs from Muncie and the Indianapolis area. Chirp Fest co-CEO Darius Norwood says reactions have been positive, but says he also has a larger goal in mind.
We noticed that the city of Muncie needed something like this. There was a lot of local businesses closed when we started Chirp Fest. And now that I'm a graduate, we can do something for the community. Like, I know after we add up all the numbers, we plan on donating to a nonprofit organization.
The next festival will be held in April of 2017. For more updates on how you can be a part of the fun, you can visit their website at www.chirpfest.com.
Many people feel good about shopping at local businesses and supporting their community. The farmers market at Minnetrista features more than 80 local vendors that serve the Muncie community.
Shopping local just got easier with the farmers market that takes place at Minnetrista Cultural Center in Muncie. Vendors set up in the Orchard Shop parking lot in Minnetrista Parkway. The market features a variety of locally grown produce, meats, eggs, and cheeses, as well as fresh flowers, baked goods, jams, and honey.
Our farmers market started in June of 2000, so this is our 16th year. We have a lot of places that you can go and get food, like Marsh and Walmart, but buying in season is really important, so this is a place where you can come and actually eat in season. I've seen more traffic since students are back in town on Saturday markets. I think a lot of people don't know about our market on Wednesday.
The Minnetrista Farmers Market even attracts Ball State students. Anna Stahovsky is a junior architecture major at Ball State University. She finds herself often visiting the market throughout the school year.
But I do come at least once a month during these fall seasons when it's really nice temperatures out. And I like to bike here. It's grown by local people and you get to know people that way. They grow it themselves, they put hard work into it, and they give it to you for less than $1 each. And for feeding for one person, just one college person just trying to be healthy and make better choices for themselves, this is absolutely the better option budget-wise.
The farmers market times change throughout the year. The market moves indoors from November through April. Throughout October, you can visit Wednesdays from 3 to 6 p.m. and Saturdays 8 a.m. to noon. In Muncie, Mary Eber, NewsLink, Indiana.
For more information, you can visit the Minnetrista Farmers Market Facebook page.
The 10th annual Living Lightly Fair was held this weekend at Minnetrista. Living Lightly is a free resource fair for sustainable lifestyles.
The Living Lightly Fair is a gathering of vendors and people who want to leave a smaller footprint of energy on this earth.
Nancy Carlson, a 4-year volunteer, says the people at the fair are her kind of people.
I support the Living Lightly Fair every year because they're my kind of people. They're people that are concerned about global warming. They're people that recycle, reuse, reduce, all of those good things that I believe in.
The fair is a gathering of people who want to leave a smaller footprint.
So the vendors are sustainable companies such as solar panels or people who make jewelry from recycled gems or whatever. Always people that are not selling new things but rather recycling and making old things.
Vendors like Sarah Rudy from Path to Living Lightly want to make sure the world is here for future generations.
And so we're using the opportunity to show everybody how solar panels work.
Rudy explains that people are often turned away from the thought of solar panels.
When you start talking to people about going off-grid or solar panel, they have it in their heads that they need 20 acres in the country or they need $80,000 solar array.
Path to Living Lightly is actually converting a house in Delaware County.
Converting a house right in the south side of Muncie, a house we already had, and we're just starting out small, and we started with one solar panel, and right now we power our lights and our small appliances, and we heat water in the morning for our coffee, all using solar power.
The Living Lightly Fair is held every year in September and is already scheduled for September 30th of next year. In Muncie, Kelsey Anderson, NewsLink, Indiana.
For more information, you can visit livinglightlyfair.org.
Sunny skies and warm weather will be with us this week. Coming up, when we can expect a cool down.
We'll have your full weather forecast after the break.
Can you help me with this? My new dad teaches me all kinds of stuff.
Sure.
He helps me with homework.
That would be 3.6795.
Thanks.
Yep.
He helps me with my decision making.
I wouldn't use this one. Ever.
And he's even teaching me how to drive.
And that's why cars have bumpers.
I'm learning so much.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of kids in foster care will take you just as you are.
They're coming. Places, everybody.
Light check. 1, 2, 1, 2.
Everything looks good on our end. And lights. Come alive with the forest. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
Don't wait. Communicate. Make your emergency plan today.
Of all the things you've done with your bike, donating it to Goodwill may be the most incredible of all. Your donations help fund job placement and training for people in your community, which means your stuff can be more powerful than you think. Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs.
Welcome back. You know, Esther, fall is just around the corner, but today did not feel like fall at all.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the first day of fall is this Wednesday. Yeah. Cody, can you tell us if we can expect these warm temperatures to stay, or is it going to start cooling down?
Yeah, guys, I think that we're going to see much of that warm weather as we do have a high pressure system in place. Right now, we are currently sitting at 66 degrees. Our winds are coming out of the south-southeast at 3 miles per hour. It feels like it's 66 degrees out there as well. With our dew point at 59, though, it's going to feel a bit more humid out there than what it did a little bit earlier this afternoon. Currently across the state, we are sitting in the mid to upper 60s and even the lower 70s in places. Muncie, you're sitting at 66. Indianapolis at 74, and Terre Haute, you have cooled down to 67 degrees. So it is beginning to get a bit cooler out there. Taking a bit of a national view out across the United States, you will see a band of showers and storms that are beginning to fire out across much of southern Minnesota and even into northern portions of Missouri, and those thunderstorms have prompted even a tornado watch in portions of northern Missouri. But I have a feeling we're not really going to have to deal with those as we go through much of the overnight, as those will begin to fizzle out. Here across east central Indiana, we are dealing with clear conditions right now. This is just ground clutter, which is commonly what we see during the night, but right now we are experiencing clear conditions across central Indiana. For tonight, you can expect mostly clear skies with a low right around 60 degrees with those light winds. So it's going to be a nice, mild night tonight. Tomorrow, we are going to experience mostly sunny skies with a high right around 84 degrees. So we're going to see conditions similar to what we've seen today, and we're going to see much more of that as we go through the remainder of this week. So we are going to continue to see that warm weather, and it is all due to this high pressure system that will begin to work its way off to the northeast. And as that does, it will cause any thunderstorms that do develop to dissipate, and it will allow those clear and sunny skies to develop across much of central Indiana. Now, as we go through Thursday, we're going to keep things clear, but we are watching a cold front that is beginning to form across much of the Midwest and into Iowa, and that will make its way here by early next week, bringing us our next chance for rain. So for your 7-day forecast, guys, we are looking at highs in the mid-80s Tuesday through Friday. We are looking at sunny and warm conditions. By Saturday, though, we are looking at a bit of a different kind of weather trend with our temperatures coming into the lower 80s and the upper 70s. And by Monday, we're going to see our next chance of rain with our highs only getting up to 75 degrees. Thursday is our first day of fall, and I think that we're going to begin to see more of that fall-like weather. So I think it's going to be a good temperature change.
I'll tell you what, though, I will definitely take those 80s here in late September for sure.
Oh, yeah, it's very warm out there. It's very enjoyable. I'm still enjoying it.
Yes, for sure.
All right, thank you very much, Cody. Coming up, Ball State's defense is just dominating.
And find out how your local high school volleyball teams played tonight.
Here's to the things that can keep us safe. Those we use all the time with hardly a thought. Those that are silently standing by to save our lives. And now, those that we carry with us everywhere we go. Many mobile devices will now bring you wireless emergency alerts, real-time information directly from local sources you know and trust. With the unique sound and vibration, you'll be in the know wherever you are.
Cook foods to the right temperature using a food thermometer. 3,000 Americans will die from food poisoning this year. Keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
So, I got this new family, and I don't know what it is about this one, but she can't seem to put down that toy all day long. Tap, 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 tap. Oh, and she even talks to it. She talks to that more than she talks to him. What's up, bro? Nice shirt. Who's she talking to? Her mom? She talks to her mom a lot.
You wanted to be a teacher when you were little, but things changed. Teaching didn't seem that cool anymore, so you decided to become something else. But what would your 12-year-old self say? Amazing things are happening in teaching, so it's time to put it back on your list. Don't try to convince yourself otherwise. You had it right the first time.
Hey everybody, after their first loss of the season against Indiana last weekend, Ball State football bounced back Saturday with a win in its home opener. The Cardinals crunched the Colonials of Eastern Kentucky, but it was the defense that stole the show in the 41-14 win. Ball State's front seven feasted on EKU's offensive line all day long, with Anthony Winbush and Josh Posley leading the way. The Cardinals sacked Eastern's quarterback 8 times. Last season, Ball State had one of the most ineffective pass rushes in the country. They ranked 109th in the nation with just 17 sacks in 12 games. This year, though, the team already has 14 in just 3 games, ranking them 3rd in the nation. Head coach Mike New credits his coaching staff for the drastic improvement.
I think just the players buying into what we've asked them to do, and that starts with how they practice. It starts with how they go about their business in the weight room. And I think Coach Doust, Coach McKenzie, the defensive staff has done a great job with those guys. It's a different approach, maybe in practice. I don't know what they've done in the past. You know, it's not really for me to decide or to critique. We're worried about just trying to practice the best we can. The kids have been great that way in practice. Fortunately, the results have carried over to the field.
Ball State will travel to Florida Atlantic this Saturday. Meanwhile, former Cardinal Willie Snead made another spectacular play yesterday for the New Orleans Saints. Here's how it sounded on Fox.
Wide to the right. Your eyes light up. Viable threat. Breeze, end zone, touchdown. Willie.
Through 2 games, Snead ranks 2nd in the NFL in receiving yards with 226 and 7th in receptions with 14. And on top of that, he's caught a touchdown in both games that he's played in. Snead and the rest of the Saints are back on the field next Monday when they host the Falcons. The Ball State women's golf team is hosting one of its biggest tournaments of the year in Yorktown. This event, which began today, features several Mid-American Conference teams, in addition to Fort Wayne, IUPUI, and Indiana. They played the first 2 rounds today at the Players Club, and there's 1 Cardinal in contention as the tournament moves into its final round. After day 1, Ball State sits in 4th place on the team leaderboard. Eastern Kentucky is in firm control of the tournament. The Colonials have a 9-shot leading head into day 2. Ball State's Sydney Anderson is up at the top of the individual leaderboard. She sits 1 shot back of the leader heading into tomorrow. And Wapahani's girls volleyball team getting a little pep talk from their coach pregame. And there's a reason they're number 2 in the state. Look at the power in that spike from Skylar Van Note. Oops. But now it's her teammates' turn. Estella Davis with the kill. She's just a sophomore, but she's up there on the front line playing with her team. Now, Wapahani serves, and that is going to be answered by Jenna Schellenberger. Fun to say, fun to watch, point Dale Bell. But they're not going to be able to hold on for the rest of the game. Wapahani, with that final match point, they take match 1 in a win. In 3A, number 2 Yorktown taking on West Dell tonight. They're not messing around. Right off the bat, Carly Matthews with the spike. I would be pretty pumped about that play too. But now it's going to be West Dell's possession. A little fake out from the Warriors for the point right there. Back to Yorktown, Kylie Murr setting up to serve. West Dell can't get control. Easy match point for Yorktown. They go on to win match 1, and they go on to win in a sweep in all 3 matches. But were you guys at the football game on Saturday?
I wasn't actually.
You weren't?
Unfortunately,
The
no.
rain kept us away. We just couldn't
Where's
do
that
it.
school spirit?
I know, right? Not very
I'm just happy
representative.
to hear that the Cardinals are getting better.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
They really are. There's a good team this year.
Yes, definitely.
Good to hear. Thank you, Amanda.
A historic building in downtown Muncie is getting a renovation.
And hear who the big winners were in last night's Emmy Awards. Your entertainment news is next.
Thank you. You got a king?
Go fish!
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Take time to be a dad today.
Sure, I look cute now, but when my owner lost his job, it was rough. I was living on the street, and one night, me and this Cocker Spaniel got into it so bad, I wound up looking like an ice cream cone. I cried a little bit, but thankfully I got rescued, so I'm running, I'm jumping, all back to my old self. And I'm ready to give unconditional love, even if you put a lampshade on my head.
There's one thing you can never have sex without.
It's not something you buy.
Or something you take.
In fact, there's only one way to get it.
It has to be given to you, freely.
It's consent.
Because sex without it isn't sex.
It's rape. Consent.
If you don't get it, you don't get it. It's on us to stop sexual assault.
Learn how and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
Welcome back to NewsLink Indiana. I'm Lucas McLean with your entertainment news. The Muncie Civic Theater is getting a much-needed makeover. The historic building located in downtown Muncie is an important part of the city's past and present, housing performances, actors, and props since the year 1965. Chris Griffith, the business director at Civic, was quoted saying, "We decided to stop making Band-Aid solutions. We wanted to find solutions that were the final fix." The $2.5 million renovation plan for the theater, once known as the Hoosier Theater, will add new features including an elevator to the second floor, new and improved seating, and ventilation, and more. The 68th Emmy Awards have come and gone. The show featured a few repeat winners as well as some exciting first-time award recipients. Game of Thrones and Veep once again took home the hardware for the Best Drama and Comedy Series. This propelled HBO to 6 awards Sunday night and 22 overall for 2016. A new and surprising winner that emerged into the spotlight was The People vs. O.J. Simpson, an American Crime Story. The series took home awards for Best Miniseries or Movie as well as Best Actor in a Miniseries or Movie. Courtney B. Vance, Best Actress, Sarah Paulson, and Best Supporting Actor, Sterling K. Brown. Other first-time winners included Rami Malek for Best Actor in a Drama and Tatiana Malassi for Best Actress in a Drama. Late-night talk show host Jimmy Kimmel kept the audience laughing as host. That's all for your entertainment news. Back to you at the desk.
All right, thank you very much. That's all tonight for NewsLink Indiana. Be sure to watch tomorrow night at 9 p.m. right here on Cardinal Vision.
And be sure to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. Have a great night.